Well. Man, I'm going to tell you something. When you're in demand, you can make some very huge demands. And right now, John Harbaugh is making some huge demands. And I think the demands alone are going to narrow down who's actually going to get John Harbaugh to coach for them in 2026. I mean, you got to see these demands, and I think they're going to be mind-blowing for you. And I think it's probably going to narrow it down to about what I believe to be 3 teams that are going to bring, or at least try to bring, John Harbaugh in. G Sports Nation, let's talk about it. Welcome to the G Sports Nation. I'm the G. I'm your host, where we talk all things sports. And we have got to talk about this thing with John Harbaugh. Again, man, when you're in demand, you can make some demands. And John Harbaugh, even though he's 63 years old, he is still got a lot of clout in this league. And some of his demands, man, I don't know if you call them outrageous, but nevertheless, I guess if this is the kind of pull that you have, or people want you that bad, I mean, I guess you can pretty much do what you want. I mean, supply and demand. You're only one coach, and there's a lot of people who want your services. You can pretty much use any stipulation you want to get what you want, because I'm sure this will be John Harbaugh's last stint as a coach in the NFL. And so we have about 8 teams. We have the Baltimore Ravens, the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, the Tennessee Titans, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Atlanta Falcons, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Miami Dolphins. These are the 8 teams that are currently needing a head coach. And so the biggest thing is, for any of these teams, it's going to be all about, if they want John Harbaugh, it's not so much do they want John Harbaugh, it's can they afford John Harbaugh and the things that he's asking for. Let's check out what he's asking for over here on Yahoo Sports. And it is crazy in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I call it crazy, but if you are a franchise that really want to. So let's look over here on Yahoo Sports and look at this article that's going around about John Harbaugh from some NFL insiders. And why this has come to fruition is because the Cleveland Browns have John Harbaugh, I believe, at the top of their list. Well, this is Tony Grossi over here, I think, on Cleveland Radio or ESPN Cleveland. And he has found out what John Harbaugh is asking for. Check this out.
I talked to a league insider who speculates on what he's heard about Harbaugh's prerequisites to even be interested in your job.
Okay.
$20 million a year.
$20 million a year? The highest paid coach in the league right now is Andy Reid. And Andy Reid has multiple Super Bowls under his belt as of recent. I mean, we got to go pretty far back to look at the last time that John Harbaugh won a Super Bowl in. I mean, it's nothing to laugh at. I mean, but he hasn't won a Super Bowl since Lamar Jackson has been there. And so we're talking 8 years. Andy Reid has been to what? He's been to 3 Super Bowls within the last 4 to 5 years? $20 million is Andy Reid's salary. John Harbaugh is commanding or demanding that salary. So again, this is going to narrow down, or at least I believe it is. It's going to narrow down some of the teams that are actually going to consider John Harbaugh. But he's not done. Wait, he's not done. Listen to the rest of this.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. $10 million assistant coach budget.
Not a problem.
And again, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, Cleveland has been a very dysfunctional organization. I don't think Kevin Stefanski was that good. And I'm sorry, what he did to Shedeur Sanders, I'm still kind of salty about that. I just don't think he should be allowed to coach in this league. But nevertheless, he'll get another job because the NFL likes to recycle coaches. But again, so we got $20 million as his salary. He wants a $10 million assistant coach salary, assistant coach salary. So basically he's saying, I guess he wants to be able to bring in the coordinator or coordinators that he wants.
Problem.
Okay. Total authority over the roster.
You know what? I don't blame him for this, but I think some of this is due to what transpired in Baltimore, because some of the things they're saying about Lamar Jackson, and he obviously had a little bit more power than John Harbaugh, because John Harbaugh is out and Lamar Jackson is still in. So I think John Harbaugh is saying, not again, never again.
And also would like to select his own guy to lean on, personnel guy.
Okay, so would he?
Don't blame him for this one. He wants his own general manager. So in other words, he's going to be in charge of all player decisions, and he's going to be in charge of player acquisition. I understand what John Harbaugh is saying. I mean, in the infamous word of Bill Parcells. I mean, if you want me to cook, let me buy the groceries. I understand what he's saying. John Harbaugh is saying that I'm not going out like Willie Lump again. He's saying I'm not going out like Willie Lump in the end. I'm going to go out like Frank Sinatra. I'm going to do it my way. So he's saying I want to be one of the highest paid coaches, or, basically tied with Andy Reid. I want to be able to get some high paid assistants. I want to be able to control the personnel. I want to be able to control the personnel acquisition. I get it.
Be making the draft picks? Like, you're going to ask this guy? That kind of makes me feel uneasy. Does he want more say over the roster than what he had in Baltimore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh. Which would be a total change in the structure here. I think there are 4 definite candidates for Harbaugh to end up with. Cleveland now is, I think, 4th.
Okay.
Miami.
Yeah. See, it was 8 teams. It was 8 teams. And I'm like Tony here. Yeah, that's going to knock out 4 teams automatically. I would even dare say it might even knock out 5, might even knock out 6. But I do think the Cleveland Browns, he said they're number 4. Cleveland Browns shouldn't be 4. I believe the Cleveland Browns should be number 1. I'm sorry. They have a very dysfunctional franchise. And maybe a guy like John Harbaugh could get them back on track here for the next few years.
The Giants.
Miami number
Atlanta.
Okay, so let me do a recap real quick. So Tony has Cleveland number 4. No, Cleveland should be number 1. Miami number 3. Miami should be number 2. Looks like he has the New York Giants at number 2. I'm sorry, I wouldn't go to New York if I'm John Harbaugh. I just don't want to play outside in the elements. I don't want to be in that. There are just too many things and reasons why I wouldn't want to be in New York. And then there is the Atlanta Falcons there. And so I'm sorry, but I think the Cleveland Browns should be number 1. I've already done a previous video on this. I'll post it up here, up above, or either I'll put it in the description of both. But I'm telling you right now, I think the Cleveland Browns should be the number 1 team. The Cleveland Browns, with the defense they have, when I look at all of those teams, the Cleveland Browns, with the defense they have, with the quarterback they have, and how marketable their quarterback is, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, no, I'm bringing in John Harbaugh, especially because he was a coach that was already intending on drafting Shedeur Sanders. I really believe this team should be building around Shedeur Sanders and turn this Cleveland Brown franchise from a joke in the sense, turn it from a joke back into not only a contender, but a national contender and a very popular team when you got Shedeur Sanders on one side of the ball and the most dominant defensive player in the game on the other side of the ball. I think this is a no-brainer for John Harbaugh. You got some very key pieces in place. I really think Cleveland should really take the chance. I believe Cleveland should take the chance. and they should really be all in on John Harbaugh. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Boy, I'm telling you, I know these demands by John Harbaugh immediately knocked 4 teams out of this thing, man. And again, Tony Rossi said number 4. Now, man, Cleveland should be number 1. Cleveland, sound off in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until the next time, G Sports Nation, peace.